realised I've forgotten to record it for the people that aren't here. So there we go. Welcome. So I'd like you to turn off your Instagram, turn off Facebook, turn off Twitter, and put your questions in the question box as you think of them, and I will answer them at the end. Now get yourself into a great sitting position, a listening position. Sit tall by a desk would be fabulous, but hey, if you're on your phone or your iPad, no worries, but do grab a pen and paper. Well done. So what we're going to do here today, we're going to talk about fats and which ones don't make you fat and are positively good for you. Yes, that completely goes against everything that the public health information tells us, and also the NHS. They're all going on about low fats. Low fat dieting isn't the way to achieve healthy weight loss. There is a difference between good and bad fats, and you might already know that. You might know that there's a difference between good and bad fats, but you might not know which ones they are, or it might all be very confusing. Well, that's why I'm here. I love plain English. I like taking very complicated issues and making them very simple. If I don't understand them, I keep going back and asking the questions. So you can ask me and I'll give you a straightforward answer. So I'm going to teach you tonight how to balance your good fats. And your good fats are saturated. Ooh, shock horror. They're all monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. You might never have heard of those. You might be very familiar with those, but we're going to break them down tonight. And I'm going to bring your fat habit, a good fat habit. That sounds contradictory, doesn't it? We're going to form a habit from eating good, healthy fats. So I'm just going to ask the question, why are you here today? You might be here today because you're confused about the dietary information that's out there. You might have had lots of different sources of information, but it's all still very confusing. And I recognise that you're overwhelmed and you're busy. There's a lot on your plate, and the advice can seem complicated and contradictory. Now, you might have taken plenty of advice before. I know lots of you that I've been speaking to on the walking challenge have already done Slimming World or Weight Watchers, and talking to different people, it's sometimes contradictory and it doesn't really make sense. And you might not have even been able to keep the weight off, or you end up going back to square one where you always end up. It's kind of this cycle of dieting and then going back. Well, ladies, if you want to change your relationship with food completely, then work with me. Because changing your relationship with food is the way to set a lifetime new adventure, not worrying about what you can't eat, worry about what you can eat, enjoy your food, have a positive approach to food. I mean, if you get to 7 o'clock each night, we've gone past that hour, and you suddenly think, right, where's my sweet treats? I'm going to give you the skills so that you don't feel hungry at 7 o'clock. You won't be reaching for those snacks at 7 o'clock. You won't need to. How do I know this? Because the people that I've worked with. So you are in the right place tonight. If you've had some success from diets but need something more long-term, that's what I'm about, long-term success. If you want to look okay in a swimsuit this summer, or even great in a swimsuit this summer. If you want to have more energy to get out and about with the family, with the children, with the dogs, whoever it is you're taking out, if you want that energy to go walking, that's what you're going to get tonight. If you want to know how to stop snacking and reduce your craving. Now, if you've got a special event coming up and you know that those special events can sometimes give you a hiccup in your weight loss, for instance, it could be a party, a birthday, or anything that's coming up on the agenda, or just a weekend away, and you know that that's going to make you fall short on your diet, well, I'm going to give you techniques, habits that makes it so much easier. You won't worry about the things that are coming up in your life because you've got gorgeous principles to carry you through. And I make it sound complicated, but it really isn't. Diets fail. They distract you. You're busy and you need simplification. Now, 90% of what you're doing in a diet just isn't working, but 10% is, because you do lose weight. You need someone to help you to focus on that good 10%. Generally, people fail with diets because they're too complicated and there's nobody there to motivate you. There's only your conscious pushing you forward. But if there's somebody scary like me talking to you, then that's your motivation. That's the person that you come to and fro with, and it helps you to stay in place. There's no plan really. So I give you a structure and habits to follow. And sometimes we're so emotionally attached that we can't see the wood for the trees. We just get upset. If something goes wrong, we just think, oh, to hell with it. And then we just walk away from it all. So you need something to implement. If you've got a strategy that you can implement and you allow yourself good days and bad days, then it becomes easy. So you're in the right place tonight. It doesn't matter if you're a newbie to weight loss, or if you're looking for some fuel tips, keep you going through the day, or if you're an experienced dieter and it just hasn't worked for you, then you're in the right place tonight. So one easy strategy and habit to help you lose weight, you're going to get tonight. And accountability. You need accountability in your life to be consistent and persistent. But tune out now. Tune out now if you are not fed up with your weight. If you're happy with the way you are, then that's fine. You don't need this. Off you go. It's fine. And tune out now if you can't commit an hour a week for the next few weeks. Now don't worry, there will be other opportunities to join me, but if this isn't right for you at the moment, it's okay. Come back when you want, if you want. I am a weight loss coach. I am a precision nutrition certified coach. I'm very proud to have that. I am also a fitness instructor. Oh, that's a scary photo. For the last 18 years. I love it. Now, as a weight loss coach, I've got some testimonials to prove that I do what I say on the can. And here is one of those testimonials from a member of Get Gorgeous. Before I did GG, that's Get Gorgeous, I used to look in the mirror and feel so disappointed and upset with myself. I had no control over what I ate. I used to obsess every day, all day, about food. I used to constantly think about sugary foods, crisps, wine, and the rest. And I would walk around all tense and self-conscious. Now I feel energized. I feel sexy. I feel healthy. I love my family more than ever, as I have put my self-obsessions away, and there is time in my head and my heart for them. And I have a new obsession: exercise. So we've done the walking challenge. I'm starting to work on you. I'm starting to ingrain you with that activity level, so you too will become addicted to exercise. So I've been teaching for nearly 20 years, so don't look too closely at the wrinkles. And I have been working with a huge range of health issues and weight issues. I am a specialist in Pilates, a specialist in safe exercise. I'm an obsessive about safe exercise and posture. I absolutely love what I do. And my secret mission, my aim, is to help you enjoy exercise. And you'll be sitting there going, no, that's not going to happen. I am never going to love exercise. Well, the walking challenge, that's turned you round. Now, here is a convert to exercise. This is somebody that was sat there a few months ago saying exactly the same thing. Longer than that now. What's just happened to me, I've cut into her conversation. Having just got myself ready to tackle my last week's exercise, I got the message from Adele saying the website was down. That's the private members website that we use. And I could have the night off. Now, you would think I would be delighted. I certainly would have been in the past. But no, I was gutted. So much so that I took the dogs out to the playing fields and jogged. Yes, jogged. Horror-stricken face, hands on face, twice around the field. What have you done to me, Adele Stickland? I am now totally addicted to exercise, gnashing teeth face. I am a totally different person to the one that started this journey almost 12 weeks ago. I am so thankful I decided to sign up. Thank you so much, Adele. Just settling down now to a nice cup of green tea and a handful of mixed nuts. So does that feel a million miles away from where you are now? Well, give me 12 weeks and I'll change your mind. Here's what you're going to discover right now, today. So have you got your pen and paper? You up for this? Which fats won't make you fat and which fats are good for you. We are going to debunk, get rid and move on out that low fat myth. I don't want you buying any more low fat products. They are packed with sugar. And we're going to learn tonight, and you're going to take away with you tonight a fat chart that's going to help you to balance your good fats. Now, you're lucky because you're live on the call. You're going to get that this evening. And I'm going to teach you how to add these fat sources as a habit by using my checklist and working with me in the way that you've worked with me on the water challenge and how you've worked with me on the walking challenge. I've got a new one coming up, the tummy challenge as well. So make sure you stay right to the end, because here's the fat chart. You can see it's got saturated fat, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. It's going to tell you what to eat, how big and what goes into each of those. Okay, I'll talk about it more this evening, so don't have to worry too much, and you're going to get that at the end of the call, so don't worry. So I have my fat chart for you, what to eat when. And you can tick it off with your daily intake, accomplish it through the day. And you can help this checklist to help you create a permanent habit, because that's what we want to do. And if you wait till the end of this session, you will receive this wonderful tool. So here's my story. This is me. This is me a long time ago. I was always pretty fat as a kid. I didn't really have much success at school with exercise, not much success at university with exercise. I had very little success when I went into the workplace with exercise. I remember at school in particular having to do the obligatory cross-country run, and I tried to train for it. I thought I could do it, and fat chance, literally fat chance. I couldn't do it. It was the most embarrassing, harrowing thing that I've ever done. And what was really sad was I thought I could. Nobody had ever told me that I couldn't, so I just thought I could. And I didn't really go into exercise then. That put me off for a long time. And then I went to university and I tried again. I was at uni. I'm going to show you a uni photo now. Oh no, that's me later the same day. That's my brother, not my son. At uni, I gave aerobics a go. I'll give you yeah, that's me at university. Nice haircut, Adele. Attractive. That's my sister. So at university, I remember seeing friends of mine used to run in front of me, and I was watching the telly, and they used to come past all the fag smoke. They were very inconsiderate, spoiling my view of Neighbours. Everybody remembers Neighbours. And they looked young, bouncy, fit and lovely, and they were very annoying. But one of them did say that, well, her legs looked amazing, and she said that the guys at uni had noticed her legs, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe I'll come and have a go at aerobics then, because that's what they'd come in from. So I got my best pair of leggings, got them on, only 2 holes, and I'd sold them up recently, so I was hot to trot, and off I trotted to the aerobics class at the university, and I lasted 3.5 seconds. They started with high impact, jumping jacks, spotty dogs, the whole thing. I don't remember much about it. I know the girl was, well, I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I had to leave. So that didn't do my self-confidence any good. And the big thing that I took away from that, like school, it was my fault. Why couldn't I cope with everybody else was coping. Why couldn't I cope? What was wrong with me? I know now, as an instructor, that, bless her, it was taught really badly. Who starts a class high impact? What happened to warm-ups? But I didn't know that. I blamed myself. And that sort of thing doesn't help your confidence. When I went to work, when I started work in Edinburgh. I met an instructor. Well, what happened, I worked for Saatchi's, and the Saatchi's receptionist gave us free membership to the local gym. So I had this free membership. I tottered along in my high heels along Princess Street to the local gym. It was very intimidating, but you know, I'm going to try this. And the snotty receptionist said to me, well, you won't be here long, you know. She was very condescending. That didn't put me off. I thought, I'm still going to do this. And I met a chap who took a class, much older than me at the time, and he was brilliant. He was down to earth. We were doing things like the can and lifting our legs off the floor for like 500 sets, and I liked it. What was going on there? He made it fun. Okay, so I found someone that I gelled with, and he made me go over and over again. But it wasn't enough. You know, I had a few injuries. I kind of got out of it again. I had my first kid, Benny, and I wasn't that keen. It wasn't fantastic. Then I had another success, and this was on a slightly different path. I met a chap called Patrick Holford of the Good Nutrition Bible. This is around about 1998, and he changed the way I thought about food. I started thinking about food as a nutrition rather than just sitting down and seeing how much carbs I could eat, which I was pretty obsessed with. So I began to practice food nutrition. He really opened my eyes. I went on a few courses with him. He's fantastic. He's really good. But a lot of my mates didn't really understand what I was talking about. I was a bit woo-woo for them, a bit sort of off the Richter scale from normality. So lots of people didn't get that, and lots of them laughed. But then I had a bit of a turning point, and this is it's not hard for me to share now, but it was at the time. I had 9 years after Ben, my first child, of infertility, and I tried everything. Chinese medicine, acupuncture, reflexology, healers, osteopaths, relaxation, meditation, nutrition, exercise. I did everything. And eventually it worked, but I learnt so much in those 9 years. And that brings me to where I am today, helping you. And I mean that, hand on heart. I got there in the end, and I want you to get there. So I want you to test me. Now, whether or not you ever buy anything from me, you are going to benefit tonight from this simple weight loss habit. And you can test me. Try my walking challenge if you haven't already, or the water challenge, or the new one, the tummy challenge, that's coming up. And when my clients join me, I'll give you an example. One of my members, she lost 9 centimetres off her waist in about 5.5 weeks. Now notice that I talk about centimetres. I don't want you to step onto the scales. It doesn't mean anything. What we do with membership is we do calipers. You're not going to like that. But we do different types of measurement. We actually find the fat, body fat, rather than jumping on and off the scales. Because if you're exercising more, if you're walking more, your muscles get stronger, you burn more fat, you need different types of fuel to get those muscles working, and it won't necessarily show up on the scales. So what I look for is I look for measurements, tape measurements, I look for caliper measurements, we look at your heart, not your heart rate, your blood pressure, pulse, and various other indicators throughout your body, and we find out what's going on inside your body, the internal changes. So that's how the Get Gorgeous principles work, and you can apply them today, these habits. You don't have to feel ashamed anymore. You can apply this right now. I hope you know a little bit about me now, and you know that my approach is positive. Everything that we do is positive. I don't look at the negativity. I might have a little rant about water bottles or the nutrition plates, but nothing is negative about our path and our progress. I want you to look at the food, and this is a big statement, you can eat. And the food that makes you happy and healthier internally. So it's a completely different way of thinking in your brain. Diets, you can't eat that. You mustn't eat that. My favourite is no carbs after 7 o'clock. Or have you heard the one about no sausages on a Thursday? That's a classic. I made that one up. So let's look at one of these Get Gorgeous habits in detail. FATS. Have you considered that it is your diet that's making you feel a little bit under the weather? You know, you've got that constant cold or achy joints or headaches. That's a classic. One of the members came up to me last week, didn't come up to me, emailed me, headaches have gone. She's only 4 weeks on the course. Her headaches have gone. So she's only done 4 habits, and one of those was water, and the headaches have gone. Migraines. I'm not talking silly little headaches. I'm talking proper full-on ones. So this is one of the habits that we look at. Fats are good for you. Fats are good for you because they provide an excellent energy source. Do you know what I mean? Energy source. They keep you going all day like a little Duracell battery. Fats are the most energy-dense macronutrient. A macronutrient are your fats, your carbs, and your protein. So everybody's been brought up, well, my generation was, carbs were the ones that give you energy. It's not true. It's fats. And fats help to manufacture and balance your hormones. So next time you're having a hissy fit at someone, we've all been there, go and have an avocado. They help to balance your hormones. Is that a bit left wing? Fats form our cell membranes, the little outsides of your cells, all these cells in your body, and every cell membrane needs fat for protection. Okay, they're made out of fat. So those little cells need protecting, and then that protection comes from fats. And fats are needed to grow new, healthy cells. Now, there are vitamins that you consume that are only fat soluble. They only dissolve in fat. And that's vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. And they're transported by the fats in the transport system. So you need 2 essential fatty acids that the body can't make, omega-6 fatty acid and omega-3. Now, I won't talk about that too much because that's a whole new topic, but they are essential. There's a lot of omega-6 in the general diet, but omega-3 you need every day, and you need to eat fats to get your omega-3. They're polyunsaturated fats, and they're in your fat chart. I will talk about them specifically later. I'm just telling you the benefits of fats. Fats protect your organs, your nerves, and your tissue. Fats help to regulate your body temperature. So if you're hitting the menopause and you feel like you're getting too hot, why don't you try and have an avocado? I'm going to stop the avocado jokes. Some nuts. Maintenance of your healthy hair, skin, and nails. Have you noticed? Hopefully you're not getting any menopausal symptoms, but if you are, your nails start to go. So if you want to keep that at bay, have some healthy fats. So I want to debunk the low-fat myth. Now, there's research, and Michael Mosley, I keep going on about him because I was so impressed with the article, and he's a GP, so he's been going on for years about how he was on the low-fat thing. Well, this is all based on something from the 1950s. It was research done in the 1950s that was talking about saturated fat and the link to obesity. No, not obesity, to heart problems. And that was the biggest problem that was hitting the NHS at the time. So heart disease was the biggest problem in the NHS. So this research was done in the 1950s. They made the link between saturated fats, and the whole industry, the whole low-fat industry was created based on this research. Now, Michael Mosley and others have said, well, they only used 6 countries when they did this research. They had 14 to choose from. They didn't include countries like France and Germany, who have a huge high fat consumption. You know what the French eat. I'm not going to go there, but you know what I mean. They eat loads of high fat, high cholesterol, and they've got modest rates of heart disease. So how does that fit with the 1950s research? And now the obesity problem is burdening the NHS, not heart disease. So as a result of implementing low fat, we've changed the problem from heart problems to obesity problems. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I wrote an email to you all about Trudy Deacon versus Simon Catewell. It was brilliant TV. Simon Catewell was from the Public Health Department, and he was on one side of the table and Trudy was on the other, and they basically weren't even looking at each other. Trudy was quite animated. She's a nutritionalist. And Simon Catewell, we'll call him from the NHS. I love the NHS. The NHS is brilliant. It's the evidence. That's what I'm talking about. It's the evidence that we follow. So Simon was talking about low fat. He was talking about the Eat Well nutrition plate. Now, you might not have seen this, but most of us have had it shown to us at some stage in our lives. The public health department makes sure that they see this. My kids at the end of last half term got the primary times, and this again was put into their primary times. I just can't believe it. Look at the size of the carbohydrates. It's well over a quarter. You've got your fruit and veg there. You've got some meat, but look how tiny the meat is. I'll have food and drinks. That's a cake section, and your milk and dairy products. But it's dominated by bread, sugar, carbohydrates. So Trudy versus Simon. Simon's approach was normal, established, low-fat milk, low-fat products. NHS recommends the Eat Well plate, and it's in the primary times before half term. So they're eating plenty of potatoes, bread, rice, and potatoes, and pasta, and the low-fat option. Well, we've been following that guideline, and now Trudy comes along, the nutritionalist, and she's advocating cream, butter, saturated fat. Now, she made the claim that she's got an 85% saturated fat in her diet. So I appreciate completely how difficult it is to stand against the established view. But isn't that how change happens? And there is a change happening. You don't have to believe me. You can follow Trudy Deacon. You can speak to Michael Mosley. You can't speak to him, but you know what I mean. You can go and find out what they say about it. So this was the article. You recognise him now, what I've been going on about? I'm proof that eating fat can be good for you. Now, his story in the Telegraph is quite interesting because he says that he was a GP and that every GP goes through the system of going to autopsies and seeing clogged arteries and blaming that on saturated fats. So he was a real advocate, no saturated fats in the diet. And then his dad was diagnosed as type 2 diabetic and started on the medication. And following Michael's advice, his son's advice, he put aside the fats and ate more starchy foods, and he got fatter and fatter. His diabetes also got steadily worse, and he needed even larger doses of medication to try and keep the diabetes under control. Well, sadly, his dad died, and Michael was just airing that in this article. And he said that his advice now would be totally different. His dad might have lived to see his grandchildren grow up. And last week, the National Obesity Forum and the Public Health Collaboration issued a report demanding a major overhaul of dietary guidelines. So things are changing. So this is just a 1980s, he was in medical school, dead bodies with clogged up arteries, blaming saturated fats, talking about his father. Major overhaul. That's what's coming. Okay, so I'm just telling you all this information because it takes time for this to become common knowledge. So if you hear it over and over again, it'll start to feel more real to you. So which fats make you fat or even ill? Trans fats. Trans fats are fat molecules that have been deformed during a process called hydrogenation. Hydrogenated vegetable oils. What the hell are they? Well, if you look on your food labels from a processed cake, if you buy a cake from any of the supermarkets and it says on the side hydrogenated fat oil, vegetable oil, it is a trans fat. And that's what you want to ignore. Trans fats. So avoid food, this is your easy way to think about it, that doesn't go mouldy in a week. If it's still walking around 2 weeks from now, you know it's full of trans fats. Don't touch it with a barge pole. Low fat ready meals are low in saturated fats but high in hydrogenated trans fats in order for the manufacturer to increase their shelf life. So it's good for the manufacturer, it is appalling for you. Commercial biscuits, cakes, muffins, pizza dough, bread, microwave popcorn, crisps, sweeties, margarine, fast foods, cake mixes are all full of hydrogenated trans fats. Okay, so if you avoid those, you'll get fitter and healthier and happier. Trans fats are the baddies. Now, cholesterol is carried in the blood attached to proteins called lipoproteins. I don't want you to remember all this, but you might know that LDL is the bad cholesterol and HDL is the good cholesterol. And what good cholesterol does is it's protective. Do you remember those little cells? And it removes fat molecules from the cell. So the HDL cells, oh my word, they're so important. You want HDLs, good fats. Trans fats increase your risk of heart disease, strokes and diabetes because they do two things. They raise the bad cholesterol, they increase the amounts of bad cholesterol, and they take out the good cholesterol. Okay, so have I sensationalized that enough? Have I been dramatic enough? Don't eat eat homemade cakes by all means, but don't eat commercially baked cakes. And even in the bakers, they're not always homemade, okay? So know your good fats. Your good fats, your saturated fats. And I did a whole nutrition session 2 weeks ago on proteins and animal fats, butter, eggs, cheese, and the goodie, coconut oil. Where have you been if you haven't known about coconut oil? Now, modern research, not the 1950s research, modern research has shown that saturated fats actually increase the level of good fats. You remember the goodie, HDL? Not only does it protect your cells, but it takes fat out of the cell. So we want HDL. And saturated fats increase those levels. It increases the good cholesterol in your blood and therefore benefits the heart. So I'm not suggesting, okay, it's fab, I can sit down with my cheese and wine every night and get happy, but you can eat a cheesy omelette because we've been terrified for years about eating cheese, don't we? The whole fat dairy option makes you feel fuller for longer. Coconut oil. So I've just put, I'm not going to spend the whole time talking about coconut oil. It's good for you, increases your metabolism, it's antibacterial, helps to curb your hunger, it improves your cholesterol, makes your skin beautiful, it boosts your brain power, it supports weight loss. It's all there. It has powerful health benefits. Now, I used to spend a lot of money on a famous French brand of cosmetics until I realised, and now I've gone an awful lot cheaper, that these chemicals in these makeups contain toxins or even carcinogenic cancer chemicals. And then it was brought to my attention that the collagen molecules, because that's what we all want to stop wrinkles, the collagen molecules in these expensive brands are too big. They can't actually get into the skin. Have you heard the saying, don't put on your skin what you wouldn't put in? Do you know what I use now? Almond oil. Cheap as chips. Or coconut oil. I know. And the members laugh at me because they'll say I'm drinking my green tea and I've got a little bit of coconut oil. Collagen is really important. It's in coconut oil. Collagen is important for your wrinkles. Okay. That's one advantage. But what interests me as a fitness instructor and keeping my fitness levels up is collagen helps with your ligaments. Okay, so if you've got a dodgy knee, or me, I've got a dodgy Achilles heel, I want to keep my ligaments strong, so I supplement my diet with coconut oil. It is a saturated fat, and it's good for collagen and helping me. It's stable when heated at high temperatures. Now nutritionists call this the smoke point. So if you see the smoke early, it means that it's unstable and it's oxidizing. The fat is oxidizing, and that means it's producing baddies, nasties, called free radicals. I used to think free radicals were goodies. They're not, they're baddies. Think of them as running free, and they're radical. Don't eat them. So free radicals act like trans fats because of the increased bad cholesterol in your blood and decreased good. So coconut oil has a high smoke point. So you don't release, it's more stable. You don't release, it doesn't oxidize. Oh, I couldn't resist putting this one in. coconut oil is good for your bum, not your bum, but this is what they were advertising it for. And I thought, well, we all like cute baby photos, so I put that one in. Another good fat, monounsaturated fat. So we've talked about two already, trans fats, we know are baddies, saturated fats, we know are goodies, and monounsaturated fats. Now these are nuts, avocados, extra virgin olive oil, peanut oil, sesame oil. When would you use those? Salad dressings. You don't want to burn them, you don't want to cook with them, you want to use them in salad dressings. Now, one reason why a handful of nuts, seeds, or half an avocado makes the perfect snack. So you could have a third of an avocado, a half I think I should have put there, or a thumb full of nuts. Now, unlike sugary cereal bars and chocolates, oh, sorry, honey, I've just seen your question, Karen. I'll answer that at the end. No, I'll answer you now. Is coconut oil a liquid or is it solid stuff? It's, when you buy it, that is such a good question. When you buy it, it's solid, but because it's so natural, mine's just done it in the sun. It's not in the sun, but it's on the counter. When you put it on the counter, it actually liquefies. And then when you put it in the fridge, it goes solid again. And that tells you, that's why I think this is such a good question, that it's a natural product. So if you've got something like Olivio or some sort of hard margarine that doesn't change, you can spread from the fridge, it's completely manufactured. And it's probably manufactured with a bit of trans fats in it. But because coconut oil changes, because it changes with the heat, you know that it's a natural product. So that is a brilliant question. So it's an oil in terms of it will liquefy if it's left in heat, but you actually buy it, and you can buy it anywhere from Sainsbury's, Tesco's, online, anywhere. And it looks like a fat. It looks like a white fat. But unlike, can I go back to monounsaturated fats now? So unlike your sugary cereal bars and chocolate, snacking on nuts will help to keep your blood sugar level stable and sustain your energy. So you're going to be less likely to go for the 7 o'clock snack. You go for the 7 o'clock snack because your sugar level has dropped, because you've been eating too many starchy carbs during the day. So if you keep to the nuts, you won't want to grab another chocolate bar in 5 minutes. And that's how you sustain weight loss. And I know, but it's not a diet. It's just changing the way that you eat. So the third goodie is the polyunsaturated fats, and this is where your omega-3 live. Do you remember I talked about your essential fatty acids? These are the healthiest and most essential. They reduce your risk of strokes. They keep your heart function going. They build your brain cells and your nervous system. Where will you find omega-3? In walnuts. Chia seeds, you ever heard of those? I talked about this on the protein nutrition course that we did a few weeks ago. Chia seeds are little tiny balls. You can buy them online. Just Google them. You can buy them. You can buy them in shops, and you just add them to your cereal or to your soup or sprinkle them wherever. A tablespoon would be fabulous. And they are protein based, which is great because they help to reduce craving. And they slightly get a little bit bigger when you add them I add them to my porridge in the morning, and they're really easy to eat. So you just chuck them on. Flaxseed oils, use them in your salads, and seeds. Now what I tend to do with my seeds is I'm mush them all up so I can spread them on salads. So your polyunsaturated fats are found in sunflower oil and oily fish. Who likes oily fish? No one. I do. I love it. Did you see the Facebook Live when I was trying to feed it to my kids? Mackerel. If you get the honey roast one, which you're not supposed to do, then the kids will eat that. I promise you they'll eat that. And salmon. Now these fats, these polyunsaturated fats, are anti-inflammatory. So if you've got an inflammatory disease, then they're going to help to reduce that anti-inflammation. My kids are full of it. Eczema, asthma, you name it. It's rife in this house. So salmon and mackerel, that's why it's good for. So it reduces your risk of injuries and chronic diseases. So optimize your health, your weight loss, and your exercise performance. You need to balance these 3 fats. So you want to get rid of trans fats, you want to eat saturated fats, you want to eat polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats. So just before we move on, I just want to have a little word with you. What is your biggest insight so far? So much that we've talked about this evening. What have you learned? What have you taken out? What's your one big thing that you've learned tonight? Have I talked too fast? Have you understood what I've said? I need to know in the question box right now the biggest insight that you've got so far. I'm just waiting for them to come up. Oh, Jackie likes the idea of the walk. She's doing the walking challenge, 12K. Oh, well done. She wants the water challenge. I've answered that one from Cameron. Does the price matter for coconut oil? Oh, yes, it really does. Here I go again. Previously, coconut oil got a very, very bad reputation because they were using the husks. They were using all the pooey bits of the coconut to make the coconut oil. And you'll still find some manufacturers doing that. So if it's cheap as chips, don't go for it. I mean, I pay £4 or £5 for mine. Now you might think that's expensive, but I use it for absolutely everything. And I'll even put it in my tea. I sometimes put it on my arms. Am I getting a little bit strange? So yeah, the more expensive, the better. Go for what you can afford. I don't want to put it out of your price range, but go for what you can afford. Right, we're getting some insight. Woo, I'm so excited. So somebody's insight, Tracy's insight is coconut oil. Yes, good. Glad you're on that bandwagon. Lisa's saying butter and cheese. I know. Years I was terrified of cheese. I went to Weight Watchers and I was on the 18 points. So 4 points of that was cheese. Why would I go near cheese? I didn't go near cheese for years. And then as a fitness instructor, I couldn't keep my energy up. I now eat cheese. I'm not scared of it. I don't sit and drink loads of wine and eat cheese. I do sometimes, but generally I'll eat it during the day. I'll even have it as a snack. And I know, because I've been where you are, that is a complete different mindset. I was going to say something rude. Low fat is not good. Thank you, Jackie. Wee. Thank you very much, ladies. Thanks for joining me. It's good. Coconut oil milk, almond milk. It's all going back on my shopping list. Woohoo! Thank you very much for that. I love it. Thanks for the feedback. It makes me feel that you're there and you're listening. So what's the one big thing to learn today? Debunk that low-fat milk myth. Stop buying low-fat products. What's happened is they take the fat out of the product because they've been told to, because empirical research has said that, but they put in sugar. They make the taste more palatable. Sugar is addictive. I am going to do another nutritional session on Wednesday. I'm looking at my dates, the 29th of June, and it's all going to be about sugar and how addictive it is. Don't let me get started on that. So low-fat products contain trans fats. They are deadly. They're really bad for you. Don't count calories anymore, ladies. Just look at the labels for hydrogenated vegetable oil. And if that's on a label, don't do it. One of the habits that we've got on Get Gorgeous is we go through your kitchen. I hire Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen. He's superb, darling. Come into your kitchen and I take out anything that says hydrogenated vegetable oil. We then do a complete makeover. You've caught me again, getting carried away. So you've learnt today that you need to balance your healthy fats, your saturated, your mono, and your polyunsaturated. We've gone through how you take them, what foods you need to have them, and in what quantities. Maybe I didn't. You need a third of each. You need an equal balance of each. It's all in your fat chart. Coconut oil is good for everything, including your bum. Cute kid photo. So Let me tell you a little bit about Get Gorgeous and the 12 habits. It's got 12 habits, like this one, healthy fats. The other one was water. Some of you have done the water challenge. There is a protein habit where we try and include more protein in our diet and less carbohydrates. Okay, so I've given you a clue about that this evening's conversation. We have a habit of exercise. Yeah. On the Get Gorgeous program, the members are given a weekly exercise program. Now, don't forget, I'm a Pilates instructor. It's my obsession. So they're all catered to help people make sure that they put their bums in the right places, knees in the right places, things like that. And we take 12 weeks to bed these habits in. We spend a whole week on one habit. That's what I've done with you today on the walking challenge and the water challenge. We spend 1 week trying to bed it in. Now, some of us some of the members have taken 2 or 3 weeks. Does it matter? Not one jot, as long as you establish that habit. And then we use accountability. You're familiar with that word? So somebody to hold you to account, to make these habits stick. Now, we use friends and family, but they're not always the most on board, shall we say. They are by the end, but not at the beginning. So we use a private group. We've got a private group. I've been chatting to you on the public group, but there is also a private group that goes on in the background. That's for the members. And there's a lot of stuff going on about that. Today, we were talking about we. Don't get me going. But there's so many things that we discuss privately and just explore the things that are going on in our heads and just out them and get them to bed so they're not a problem anymore. So on the program, I am your accountability buddy. Does that sound scary? Good. This is one of the adherence sheets that we fill out each week, and they send them back to me on a computer system. It goes straight back to me. It comes straight into my inbox. I review it. I make sure that they've been good, and then I'll give them a report back saying, okay, that's okay. You've been brilliant there. You've been fantastic there. It's all very positive. I am very scary. Very scary. You just need to ask my kids. Okay? Don't let you away with anything. Oh, look at that. My husband slipped that one in. He thinks that's funny. I have definitely not got a blue neck scarf. So the habit of adherence, that's not one of the 12 habits. That's just an extra one. And that's what creates success. That makes you feel that you're not on a diet. And they're the basis of the program. So if I've introduced to you today a healthy fat habit as one of your nutritional habits. And I want you to go away and I want you to use that and do it today. There are 12 nutritional habits on the program, plus the exercise habit. Oop, I forgot to finish that off, which is available via video. I send it to you, to your computer. And then there's a weekly adherence habit. And then there's the habit of checking in. Adherence, checking in with your friends and peers and people like that. There is nothing stronger than a habit. You know that. You've got a bad habit, you try and break it. So if I create some good habits and I hold you accountable to those good habits, you can't break them. So when you've got an event coming up, say Christmas or a birthday, and you think, well, what am I going to do? Your habits kick in. They can't help but kick in. So it's not a problem. Trust me, I know, I've done it. I've worked with lots of people. So the Get Gorgeous exercise habit, you get 12 nutritional habits, you create a weekly exercise habit, and if you want to exercise your arms, bingo, get it? Pun? Love puns. If you want to work your legs and your bum, the biggest muscle groups in your body, they help you burn more fat. So if you love that week, you can just keep doing it over and over again. And you can work on these exercise habits in the privacy of your own home at the time of your choosing. Okay, so it could be 6 a.m., it could be midday, it could be 7 p.m. There's nobody watching but me. Change your life. Ladies, change your life by changing your habits. I love running. You can see by my face there, I absolutely love it. Exercise is retrospective. You love it after it's done. It releases serotonin, it's a happy drug. Sugar releases the same drug-like feeling, and they are both addictive. So if my aim is to swap your sugar rush for an exercise rush, Adele, get away, no way. See, look, it is fun. Look at me, that's the end of the race. That's people who take photographs. That's, they're just sitting on the side. So your progress on your habits, your adherence, you can tell me exactly how you're progressing with your exercise habit on the private forum. So if you get to the stage where you think, Adele, I really can't do this, okay, no worries, let's create another one. Or you can put down on your weekly adherence sheet, you can send it back to me that way. You talk to me about the problems that you've encountered or the successes have you had. Have you ever worked with a one-to-one person like that? Somebody that's on your side. And the real advantage is that you can do this at a time that suits you. This all fits in to your daily life. It can work around busy work schedules. I've spoken to so many of you this week. Your work schedules are phenomenal. I know, but I am suggesting if I get you fitter, if I get you healthier, you can cope. You will cope with what life throws at you much better. One-to-one. Now, there is a way of working with me on a weekly phone call and chatting with me and working one-to-one. You can talk to me about that via email, or you can apply for a discovery call and we can discuss it. But I'm not going to spend too much time on that tonight. There is a habit of soul support. We become the average of 5 people that we spend time with. Now, if you have happy, positive people in your life that achieve their weight loss habits, then that's going to reflect on you. If your soul community will help you succeed in your goal, and that's what we do on the forum. And this is an example of the forum. I won't read that out now, but if you want me to email it to you, I will. I want you to get into the habit of reaching out to people. Positive people. And positive people will help the way that you change, the way you speak to yourself. This is something that I'm very conscious of. What you tell yourself every day, oh my God, I've got a fat bum, look at my boobs, look at my belly hanging out, I look disgusting, look at the state of that. Your body starts to believe you. If you have positive affirmations, oh, look at my booty. If you start to feel good about yourself, then it becomes a whole cycle. It changes. These instructions, these things that you tell yourself, they deceive your subconscious. They trick your subconscious. So get into the habit of positive thinking. Now, if you have 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day, how many of them are positive about you and how many are negative? What does your subconscious hear over and over again? That's why I post daily affirmations. Write them down. I don't do them daily. I should do. I don't have time. I try to. If you encourage me, I will. Have a positive affirmation. Tell you what, even better, you post them. We'll make it a group thing. I am learning how to love my gorgeous body. Now, if you just keep telling yourself that every day, it will become a reality. Oh, Adele's off there again. This is based on facts. There's a French pharmacist years ago, and he believed in positive affirmation, and he received phenomenal recovery. He used to say to his patients, say every day, in every way, I'm feeling better and better. You must have heard of that one. Well, it worked for him. It's based on facts. So this is not theory. I've worked on habits, positive affirmations, I've worked on exercise routines, and I've worked on nutritional habits. I've used them on me. You've heard my story, you know where I've come from, and I've worked on them with my customers and my clients and my gorgeous, gorgeous ladies. Now these habits, as I said that, have been tried and tested. I have done the hard work. So what's this all about? Well, Get Gorgeous is all about feeling healthy. It's all about feeling energized right now and how to eat the right food to give you energy. That's what we've been talking about for the last hour. Fats give you more energy. I want you to enjoy your life with your family this summer. I want you to make sure you're feeling happy about the food that you eat. And I want to make sure that you have enough exercise squished into your week. That was one of my members' quotes. I like that. And exercise that suits you. So you don't have to do the school cross-country run. You don't have to do the high-impact class. I want to find exercise that suits you, and that's what we work on. Gorgeous ladies, I want to change your relationship with food. I want to make it positive. Now, I'm not sure why you showed up today. I'm not sure if you've never dieted and you don't like the sound of it, but you want something as a healthy alternative. Maybe you have been working towards your perfect weight for years, and you're still struggling. Maybe you're just here to find out more. I'm glad you're here. Really glad you're here. Well, I found the secret of losing weight, and the secret of not feeling knackered the whole time by creating habits and eating the right food that will enable you to do the things that you want to keep up with your kids. Appreciate the joy of going out, long walks, without being able to put one foot in front of the other knackered. Seeing your children and your grandchildren proud of your fitness levels, and proud of your food choices, following you as an example, and being able to leave food on the plate, not when you're feeling full and not feel guilty about it. So your weekly habits, they're handed out chunk by chunk in the right order. They're simple. They're easy habits to follow. You've tried them. And I make them very, very clear. Somebody said to me this week on Facebook that I'm down to earth, and I love that. That is that's what I want to be. I want to get under the skin of your old weight loss psyche. And I want to work on changing your beliefs and your subconscious by positive affirmations and all sorts of others. So in a short period of time, in 12 weeks' time, you will lose weight from your waist without dieting. It is simple. It is not hard work. Well, what's the obvious question then? How do I apply? How do I apply this 12-step weight loss program to me? Well, you've got a choice. You can do it slowly. You can spend hours making the decisions on what to eat based on your own trial and error. And some of what I told you today, if you start implementing the FATS, the good fats today, that would be brilliant. But to be honest, it would save you money, but not time. You won't get the results that you want quickly. And it might not even be viable. Some of the work schedules that you've got are phenomenal. And it might even end up costing you more money in the long term because you're spending money on things that you don't need to spend money on. It's all down to basics. It's common sense. Or you can do it quickly. And you can do it quickly by following my full 12-step process. I've made it easy for you. I followed Einstein's advice. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. I think that's so true. People get so highfalutin and so complicated. So the habits are there. They're designed to give you a solution, a long-term, permanent solution. And Get Gorgeous works to give you every little thing that you need. It works on 3 fronts: your education, your exercise, and your soul support. It is absolutely the easiest and cheapest way of getting from being overweight and tired to feeling fit really quickly, really fit and really healthy. I want you to achieve your goals. I want you to be able to swim with dolphins. Is that your goal? Or maybe you're getting married in a few months' time. I want your goal to be achievable. Well, it helps me. It helps the universe. If you're happy, you make someone else happy, and that's the way to change the world. I don't want you to feel like this. We've all done it. We all do it. I nick the kids' sweets. It's not good for them, but I'll have them. And we feel crap about it, don't we? We hide. I think she's in the swings trying to eat a chocolate, but feeling guilty. Why feel guilty? If you're going to have an ice cream, have an ice cream. It's fine. I want you to stop feeling guilty about the food you eat. I want you to stop feeling depressed. Don't leave your happiness on the table. Start these healthy, nutritional habits right now. You can go and apply what I've taught you today right now. You can use the food modules, the exercise classes, and I deliver it through the private members website. All you need is Wi-Fi. That's what the French call it, Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi. And every week you have access to a new module. You have an email sent out to remind you of the next release. And each week you send back your completed weekly adherence sheets. So what is Get Gorgeous? Eat like you love yourself. Move like you love yourself. Speak like you love yourself, and act like you love yourself. And we create these easy habits so your progress is slow, but inevitable. You can't help but win, because I'm not going to let you go. Each week you have an exercise video so you can plan that exercise around your day, and the recording so you can listen to your education lessons like this, or you can have it downloaded into a little book if you want to, a nutritional workbook, and you can review it at your time that you want. There's no travel involved, and your progress is inevitable because it's broken down piece by piece. You work at your own pace, which allows your existing way of life, where you are now, into where you are going. So each week you create a long-term habit, and just the habit, nothing else. You don't stress about the scales. You trust the process. And the process of forming the habit takes care of the weight loss. Okay, you set the goal and then you forget the goal. And then you set on forming the habit, and it's a positive habit. And that's how it works. So clients have lost 7.6% body fat in 8 weeks. What's body fat? Why is she doing body fat? Well, that's the caliper thing. And body fat is much harder to put back on. When you step on the scales after you've done Weight Watchers or Slimming World, you're losing water. I'm asking you to increase your water so you're not losing water. You're going to lose fat, proper fat. Another client lost 10.5 centimetres off her waist. And what was really exciting, blood pressure dropped from 70 to 62. And doctors were saying, wow, I wish all my patients were as healthy as you. That's what we're looking for, internal change, because you're eating healthily, properly. And she lost 11 pounds on the scales, but that doesn't bother me. That doesn't interest me. The body fat interests me. The measurements around the waist interest me, and your pressure, your blood pressure. So come on, join me. Join the Get Gorgeous program and become the very best of you. Now, this research cost me thousands of pounds. I've spent money on coaching. I have been mentored. I'm still being mentored. I've spent a huge amount of money on course fees, and I've worked every day. But it's chatting to people. It's not really work. And I've put 18 years worth of experience in this. I worked it out the other day. I've spent 25,325. So that's how much the Get Gorgeous program is worth to you right now. Sign up, 25 grand, please. No. You can join the fun at half that cost. Now, generally as a coach, I'm about £85 an hour. But you get access to me on the program whenever. I'm booked up, so the only way to work with me is to go on the program. And this is cheaper than the gym membership that you've never used. I just want to say a little big up. This is from one of the members. You sound sunny and energetic. Isn't it fabulous? I've pressed pause a little bit, but I'm still getting exercise. I have to say, I think you're a genius. The positive changes you are making understandable for all us ladies who have struggled with weight and confidence is priceless. This journey has been one positive step after another. No matter how fast or slow we are moving, we make the changes every day just by reading and thinking about the module contents. I look forward to the rest of my life with these tools for feeling happy, healthy and empowered to do what's best for my body. I applaud you and I wish you great success. Happiness to so many women. That's why I'm out here. That's why I'm talking to you. So that's going to cost you a tiny fraction. You can start today for £297 and you get that online support. You get immediately the starter pack and the first module. And another great thing, I'm going to offer the first 3 people free access to the tummy challenge. Now, I've been talking about the tummy challenge. It's a 10-day course. You can take 20 days. It doesn't matter. It's 10 tummy exercise. Start with Pilates and go mad towards the end. And you'll get 10 little education sessions. And you'll also get a quick meal planner and a shopping list to help you talk about things that make you bloated and things that you can do to avoid and things that you can do to eat. And that's all going to come together in the tummy challenge. That's going to go live in a few weeks or days time. It's worth about 850 quid. I'm not going to sell it at that, but that's how much it's worth. And I'm going to give that free to the first 3 people that sign up today. Now, I know a lot of people are intimidated by that initial 297. So what I've done with my web designer today is sort out 3 levels that you can pay. So you can pay £99, it's slightly more expensive, over three months. Okay? You've got a guarantee. I guarantee if you're not happy, have your money back. Okay? Full 30-day money back guarantee. So you're going to save 25 grand. Go to this page right now, she says in an authoritarian voice. get-gorgeous.com/gg. You can read the blurb, or you can go straight down to the yes, I'm in. Jump in here. And then you enter your name and your address. You create a username and you create a password, and wham, you get access to the starter pack and the first module. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to go to get-gorgeous.com right now /GG. And you'll see that page. You'll see that me with a love heart. And it says become a member. Now, if you become a member on that purple button, it will take you through to the one-off cost, the 297. If you go underneath, can you see tiny, tiny, tiny writing? I don't know why my web designer did that. And it says pay over 3 installments. So if you click that, that'll get you into 3 installments. That will go up. Those 3 installment payments will go up, because it doesn't make sense if I'm offering a one-off price. Everybody will go for the 3 installments. So the 3 installments will probably go up in the next couple of days. I'm just being honest, okay? I'm just getting it out there. And once you've gone through, it will take you through to a payment page that will look like this, and it will say pay that amount, and that's where you put in your name, your last name, your email address, your card number. It's all security focused. I've been using it on my Pilates website for years. PayPal, so there's no problems there, or Stripe payment. Okay, so I want you to go and do that now. I want you to go and have a look at the page, and I'm going to open up for questions, and I've got a lot. Good. I'm just going through. Good. Sorry, just reading a few. Excited by cheese, cream, etc. Hate full fat milk. Can skimmed be a substitute? Yeah, you can still have skimmed. What I'm trying to get across is that there's no strict rules. Okay, you implement the habits slowly. And if you implement them slowly, you get to understand them, and your tastes will change. That might find very odd at the moment, but believe me, your tastes do change. And that's why you don't bother with the sweetie treats. That's what that member was talking about. Your habits change. It's natural. All of this is natural. Can it be any cheese? Brilliant question. No. Sorry, it's not very simple. I did the protein nutritional I don't know what to call it, training session a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about the cheeses that you can eat. If you email me, Jackie, I will send you the link to the protein nutritional session that we did, okay? So you can find it. I can't remember them off the top of my head. I know cheddar's okay because it's got high protein content, but it's all in that session. So if you just email me, I'll send it to you. Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Somebody's saying the kids are going to hate me. Hey, I'm going through that all the time. Make it fun. Make the kid thing fun. My son has gone to school with the pedometer. Okay. And he comes back and he loves shoving it in my face. You've seen the photos of me and him on Facebook. I've been really bad at the walking challenge. I've only done it to incentivize you, but he comes back 17,000 steps he's done. That's how you make it fun. They love a gadget. They absolutely love. All his mates wanted the pedometer and they wanted me to hand them out. I had to say no, but I have given it to a few teachers. And they just love it. And Joe's been playing way more football and running around the playground way more. My little lovely, gorgeous girl, she's really interested in doing the 10 veg a day. One of the habits is veg rather than fruit. And she goes through her day and counts the veg. Now, I don't say to how much veg she should be eating. So if she just eats one piece of lettuce, then we call it one. I don't give her rigid rules, but she loves it. See, she's the one that sort of thinks with her brain. She wants the analytical side of it, and Joe just wants the raw side of it. So you feed it out to your kids like that. And by talking to them and educating them, they get on board. So they won't hate you. They will not hate you. In the long term, it'll make sense. My kids go to school. I got told off for this on the protein webinar because I've been on holiday to Greece and I've been telling everybody to eat Greek yogurt and I've been pronouncing it incorrectly. I pronounce it Fage, F-A-G-E. My kids go to school with that, but it's not that. It's the Greek pronunciation. Fayage. Okay? Just so we're clear. And they go to school with a pot of that. They don't have sugary yogurts anymore. And they put little bits of different things on it, and that's them sorted. And they do stand out from their kids. But so be it. So be it. Problem with the sound? I don't know. I hope not. I hope you can hear me. You might want to hear the recording. Has anybody else got a problem with the sound? No? Okay. My boy wants a new man like me. Oh, lovely. I'm loving the comments. So somebody's asked how long the course is. Well, it's 12 weeks. We do the emails every 12 weeks, but you don't have to take 12 weeks. You can take 14 weeks or you can take 15 weeks. I've got one lady who's been doing it for quite a while and she's still on module 5, and that's okay. That's fine. 6 months. You've got 6 months to access the course. And then if you want to carry on, you just become a gorgeous graduate, and that's how you work. Okay. So Lisa's asking about the tummy challenge. Well, yes, you can have the tummy challenge for free. The first 3 people that connect with me tonight will get that tummy challenge. Okay. Is there any more questions? Anybody got any more questions? It's been really good fun talking to you tonight. I've loved it. I always think we should have fun when we're trying to learn things, albeit my sense of humour, which is a bit silly. But if we're having fun, then it doesn't feel like we're learning it. It feels so much more natural. Okay, so I've just gone through the questions. I can't see any new ones. Is there a cost for the Gorgeous Graduate? There's a small cost for the Gorgeous Graduate. I can't remember off the top of my head, Tracy. I will find out and I'll email you. Thanks, Adele, been an eye-opener. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for all your comments. As I say, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, but the most important thing, you've enjoyed it. So I'm going to say goodbye now because we've been talking for quite a while. If you want to email me, please do. If you've got any questions, email me. Oh, I nearly forgot. Here's your cheat sheet. I've put it into handouts and it's loading up 17%, 26%, 47%. Can you see it? Where you've put the questions, if you go down to handouts, there's a little icon that says fatchart.jpg. So if you drag that onto your screen, you'll be able to get it. Shall I be rotten and say you can only get it on the live recording, or shall I give it to people? I want to encourage people to come on board and chat with me so I can answer their questions. But there you go. There's your FAT chart. Okay. Those are the 3 FATs the 3 divisions of fats that we talked about tonight. Well, take care, everybody. Thank you so much for your lovely comments, Lisa. Julie, it's beautiful having you on board. I've loved it. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Thank you, Karen. Well done. Take care, everyone. I will see you soon. I'll probably see you on Facebook Live. Look out for my emails. There's always one on a Sunday morning. Do you think that's a good time? I always put one out on Sunday morning. This Sunday it was about water. And next Sunday, I can't think what I'm doing next Sunday, but there will be something going out every Sunday morning. So look out for those. I am saying goodbye. Thank you. Thank you. It's there under handouts. Look down there under handouts. You might need to press the arrow and it's blue and it's just there. Bye. Take care.